Wow, and damage is so high, 1.4 million. It's crazy. Hello, it's Rygers. In today's video I am going to introduce you new PvP build with new shoulder essence for judgement, because I received quite a lot requests for this build. So you will see the whole build, skill rotation, damage on training dummy, and then some short clips how it works in battleground, and my conclusion if this build is good or not. So let's begin. Let's look on skills. So my primary is Suck at Fire, not Punish with this build. Then Shield Charge, Judgement, Condemn, and Conjuration of Light. Let's move to my set items, and here it's the most complicated because there's several variations with set items which you can use. For example, I have 2-piece Vitus for increasing my beneficial effect duration, 4-piece Mount Bank for shield to be tanky, and 2-piece Angmet to increase my ignite status by 30%, which is complementary with my shoulders. But you can use 2-piece Vitus, 2-piece Mount Bank, 2-piece Angment, and 2-piece Baron, or you can use 2-piece Vitus, 4-piece Angmet, 2-piece Mount Bank, or even you can try 4-piece Vitus, 4-piece Mount Bank, or 4-piece Mount Bank, 4-piece Angmet. It really depends on you. There's several variations, and it's best if you will try it for yourself what works best for you. But I have this combination, but I'm not saying that this combination is the best, but actually it is what I have. Let's look on my legendary gems, which are still the same as in previous videos. So I have Hellfire Fragment, Maw of the Deep, Phoenix Ashes, Howler's Call. Here I am using as an auxiliary gem Roiling Consequence. Then Void Spark, Bloodsoul Jade, Gloom Cask, and Starfire Shard. So it's quick look because, as I said, I am showing my gems in every my build video. Let's move to my legendary gear. So my helm is Ammonios Cornua, and the reason is that it's increased my damage by 19% for 3 seconds after using shield charge. My chest is Heart of Gandeur, which is our Condemn. My shoulders are the new essence, the Yawning Crows, which is the main damage dealer here. Then my pants are Cloister of Misery, because it's our shield charge. And shield charge now causes you to leap to target location, guttering and damaging nearby enemies. Shield charge damage increased by 18%. My main hand is Horn Splitter, because now we are not using the Punish as a primary skill, but we have Suck at Fire. My second main hand is Trial by Fury, and Trial by Fury, where it is here. Taking damage causes your next Suck at Fire to detonate on hit, dealing 12,600 additional damage to nearby enemies, and damage increased by 90%. So, and my offhand is Torrential Refrain, because it immediately triggers my continual damage, so it's very important for this build. And then, because we are running the Heart of Grandeur Condemn, so I am using Shield Blinding Wall, because it's blind the enemies when they are hit by Condemn for 1.6 seconds, and it increases the damage by 10% for Condemn if it is awakened. So it's my legendary gear. Now let's look on the skill rotation, and from my testing, the best seems to be to use first your Judgement, then Condemn, and then leap to your target, to the location. Because of course you can use as a first your shield charge to leap and then your skills, but the problem is that sometimes you are CC'd and you cannot press the skills, so then you can do nothing. That's the reason why it is better to use your judgement, condemn, and then leap to your target, because this way you can deal full damage. Now let's look on the damage on training dummy, but I am going to do this test a little bit differently, because imagine that we are in battleground. So first press judgment, condemn, and then leap on your target location and then put the damage. Wow, and damage is so high, 1.4 million. It's crazy. Look at the damage, and 31.5 million. Keep in mind, it's a PvP build, it's not the best DPS build, nothing like this. And look at the damage, and if you saw, there were hits for 1.4 million damage, which is crazy for PvP build. Let's look on the breakdown. And here you can see the best damage dealer here is the judgement, 16.6 million damage, 52% of damage, 6.3 million by my legendary gems, and 7 million from my suckered fire. So the damage output is crazy, and you can really melt your opponents in battleground really fast. Here's the battlegrounds example when I am leaping on my target and he is dead. He is immediately dead because the damage output is really high from these skills. Or you can see here he is immune now, but look at this, he is again dead. So this build is very deadly. It's time for final conclusion. By the way, I am using the Paragon Brawler with these 5 skills, same as with my Light Riders. And back to the conclusion, this build is very strong with very high damage output. But why I am not using this build? The answer is simple. Because it's not fit my playstyle, same as the Light Riders. Light Rider build is more suited to me, but it doesn't mean that this build doesn't work or doesn't work for you. If you are struggling with Light Rider build, definitely try this build, because maybe this build will be exactly the right one for you, because it works. And there's one thing, and it's my personal problem, because this build works great with dodge damage. So I mean that it's great if you have C-Pick Bio and 2-star legendary gem Viper's Bite. Even 1-star Everlasting Torment works great with this build. So you can combine these gems and it will increase your potential. And very important for this build is your potency. And unfortunately my potency is the weakest stat, as you can see here, because I never used dot build or some CC'd builds. I am not a fan of these builds. So my potency is my weakest stat. For my Light Rider build it doesn't matter, because I am not using potency at all, and for PvE I don't need potency at all again. So it's my weakness for this build. But if you have high potency and C-Pick Bio or even Viper's Bite, then it will work definitely better for you than for me. So in overall, build with high potential, this build should improve your kill streaks or number of kills, because it's really deadly. So try this build and let me know in the comments how you are pleased with this build, or if you have some modification to this build, because as I said, there's a lot of variation with sets items. So I am interested what's your opinions.